Hello. What's up, guys? You are watching the Quezt, and I'm your host, Robert Dylan Vasquez. We're out here for episode 25. It is 7/2/21.
Turn on.
Dude, and we're coming in hot because I got a wicked sunburn, dude. I got Larry the Lobster on this side, and I got Normie Norm on this side. Because your boy was driving all day, had his arm out the window thinking he was all cool in the gang, and it wasn't. So I'm dealing with that. 4th of July is this weekend. I got to work on Sunday, but having a little barbecue tomorrow. Having a little cookout. What do you guys call it? Now, I know what you're about to ask me, or what you're about to say, rather. Is it a cookout or a barbecue? It depends on what kind of food you have. No. If there's a grill and it's cooking, call it what you want. Either a cookout or a barbecue. And I know a lot of you guys are going to have a problem with that. I'm from Missouri. I don't know if it's just a Midwestern thing. I call it a barbecue at all times. And so my boy Lawrence, shout out to Lawrence, he goes, okay, so let me tell you something, Rob. He shortens my name because that's just a thing he does. He goes, let me tell you something, Rob. He goes, if you invite me to a barbecue and you only got hamburgers and hot dogs, I'm leaving. I'm like, what? Why? He goes, a barbecue is meant for stuff like smoked meats, ribs. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I get that, but like, call it what you want. Anyways, so we're having a cookout barbecue tomorrow for the 4th at my boy Alex's house. Shout out to Alex. Dude, I don't say this often. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to avoid the fine print at the beginning of the video. And on to the Comedy Zone. Just like that. Just how was your guys' week? Let me touch on that before I go on to the Comedy Zone. How are you? Are you getting your feelings out during the week? Who are you telling your problems to? Do you have problems? We all have problems. Dude, come out to the Comedy Zone, July 29th. Come see Robert Dylan and Henry David. Back to back. Tired-ass sets. Dude, we're going to rock it. There's no Comedy Zone until then, so I'm just going to promote the 29th every single week. Make sure you come out to the Greenville Comedy Zone. July 29th. That's Thursday. / Done with that. On to the imprint, because we got a jam-packed quest today. On to the imprint of the week. The most annoying thing anyone has done to you, and how did you resolve it? Okay. So this all started in middle school with a crush on this girl named Blair. Now, you guys have heard me talk about like dating Brooke in, the last couple Unlocking Memories. Well, she has a twin sister, and her name is Blair. And I liked Blair in middle school. So this is way before me and Brooke. So I had this crush on Blair, and she was kind of like a popular girl or whatever. And I was just saying anything to like get this girl to like me. She had a bulldog, and I was like, I got a bulldog. I didn't have a bulldog. And she's like, oh, we should breed. And I'm like, yeah, let's breed. And so I was interested in her, I guess, kinda. But I wasn't in any position. I wasn't cool. I wasn't wealthy. I was like the poor, ugly, awkward kid. So they had these things for Valentine's Day. They're like Valentine's Day grams, where like you sign a card and it's like to Blair from Robert, and then it comes with the card and flowers and stuff. and they had people go around the school delivering all these orders, and they would come into the classroom in the middle of class and just, hey, this is for you. They wouldn't like say who it was from, but since it had the little card on it, everybody just knew that it was from somebody, and so they're like, who's it from? And so I wasn't there, so I imagine in my head she's like, oh, it's Robert, and everybody's like, ew, like what the fuck, like, and I'm, dude, so flowers get to her, and I have numerous people coming up to me, hey, Blair says she doesn't like you like that. And I'm like, all right. Hearing that once, fine. Hearing that 9,000 times, oh man, it's just, it really gets to you. So I don't know who all she told, like whether it was like a, what do they call those things, PSAs, where it's like, hey, if you see Robert, just make sure you tell him to stay the fuck away from me. Whatever. It's cool. I wasn't trying to be too pushy. It was a nice thing to do. I don't even remember what I put on the card. And, I don't know. It just hurt my feelings that people kept coming up to me saying, like, it was person after person. Like, Blair doesn't like you like that. Blair says she doesn't like you like that. And so my friend Branson, he was the straw that broke the camel's back, which is ironic because he was a very hefty guy. And so Biggie Branson, he comes up to me and he goes, hey, Blair says she doesn't like, and I already know. I know the punchline. I know what you're about to say. Hey, Blair doesn't like you like that. So I freaked the fuck out. Like I said, this is like the 9,000th. This is the 9,000th person to tell me this that day at school on Valentine's Day. Thanks. And so before he even gets the whole sentence out of my mouth, I'm like, shut up! It was the most embarrassing thing mixed with the most annoying thing. I might as well have fucking hissed at the guy. Like, I felt like, and everybody heard me because it was at lunch / recess because it was middle school. So that's kind of, people they didn't just go to lunch. Like there was something else going on. I was recess, rap battles. That was our thing in middle school. I got to go back to that. So rap battles, all this stuff was going on. And they hear this little white kid shrieking over by the lunch table. And so everybody's like, oh my God, what happened? And these teachers are coming up to me. And it was Miss Threadgill and Miss Moore, some shit like that. And they're like, are you okay? And I'm like hyperventilating like that kid. He's like, oh, he mad. And I'm like, like, I'm very mad. I'm mad just because, like, I'm getting rejected, yeah. But I can't even imagine what she's going through, like, ooh, Robert likes you, like, ooh, all that stuff. Like, I didn't mean to do that. Very sorry. But I just had it. I didn't want to hear it, especially from Biggie. So I get done screaming at him. Teachers come over, and everybody's, obviously it's like a thing, and everybody has to know what's going on. Like, so Miss Threadgill, she goes, Robert, is it Blair? And I was like, oh my God, you too? You too? So that was probably the most annoying thing that's ever happened to me. And I did it to myself, just being kind. I had no money to my name, and I scrummaged up dollar bills to get this girl flowers for Valentine's Day. And just because it came from not the most popular kid or not the hottest middle schooler, like, anyways. That was the most annoying thing. And that's how I resolved it. By screeching at him in his face, dude. It was terrible. Fucking get off, slash. On to the question. Piss me off, Torian. Question. If you had to eat any food or substance, like to the point of vomiting, what would you choose? Now, this one's tricky because you can't just eat the food and then and then throw up. No. I'm talking about eating the food or substance like drinking Sprite or drinking this to the point of vomiting. So you're just filling up and filling up and filling up. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Bubba, we got no more room to go. Okay. I pick gummy bears. Number one, I don't eat gummy bears like that. Number two, I have a little anecdotal story for you. My boy Jordan, shout out to Jordan, ate a 5-pound bag of gummy bears while playing COD or on his computer, whatever he was doing at the time. And he's just eating, he's playing, eating, playing, eating. Doesn't even notice what am I doing? I'm eating. And he doesn't even notice how many gummy bears he's eating. By the end of his session of gaming, he looks down at the bag, and most of the bag, if not all the bag, is gone. He feels terrible all of a sudden, goes to vomit, said it was the best throw up of his life. And I believe him, because the substance, like the texture of the gummy bears, very soft. When they're digested, it's not like they're dry. You know, they have all the other liquids coming up too. And he said it was the best tasting throw up of his life. So I'm like, okay, I could have some rainbow unicorn shit spewing out and it would be fine. But yeah, that's what I would pick, gummy bears, just because, you know, he got that road. I want that road. I want if it's going to come up, I want it to be satisfying coming up too. My brother Eli said cereal, and I'm like, what kind of fucking monster are you, dude? What cereal is... And then the milk involved? Hell no. Gummy bears. And I don't even... Like I said, I don't even eat gummy bears like that. So if it ruined it for me, oh well. Fucking... I got fucking demonetized that last video. Not like it matters. I don't get any money from this anyways. But I played Pump It way too long. The clip is only like 10 seconds. And it captured it. Anyways, fucking... Slash. I'd eat gummy bears to the point of vomiting. Let me ask you guys. If you had to eat any food or substance to the point of vomiting, what would you choose? What would you give up? Before Eli really got the question, he was like, I would eat biscuits and gravy. I'm like, well, are you willing to give up biscuits and gravy for the rest of your life? And he looks at me and he goes, all right then. What'd you pick, Hank?
I don't know what I could give up. It'd probably have to be something like bad for me. But I don't know what I consume like that.
It would have to be something that you like. It would have to be something that you eat a stomach's worth of, and then half of an esophagus worth of.
I'd be down giving a chocolate cake. I'd be down giving a
Dude, chocolate cake. Just the worst, dude. But yeah, gummy bears. I mean,
Swedish fish. Fuck Swedish fish. I don't eat them.
So Swedish fish. Swedish fish. Swisher sweets. Eat them like those fucking cereal straws.
Pretzel sticks.
Oh. Slash. Under unlocking memories. And the reason we're flying through this is because this is probably going to take a second. Okay, so where I left off was I went to New Jersey and Philly and New York on vacation. I had just gotten fired, went on my trip, and then I almost fought Rocky. I come home, still jobless. I don't know whether I got into this last time, but I'm still jobless. My boy Leonid and I are sitting on the couch. And I'm like, what am I going to do, dude? I have no job. I have this rent to pay. I have my car to pay. I got all these bills. I'm an adult. What am I going to do? And he goes, you know Amazon's hiring. And I'm like, I can't pass the drug test, Bubba. What are you doing to me? You set me up for failure. He goes, oh, no. They do like that mouse swab shit. It's only like 72 hours. And I just got back from Jersey where I spent more than 72 hours. And so I'm like the end of Breakfast Club where he's like, fucking, don't you forget about me. Don't. Yeah, for sure demonetized. It's way too accurate. So I'm super excited about that. I go and apply. And I get the job. I get the fucking job. Very first drug test I ever passed. Didn't have to really... I worked at Olive Garden and Ingles before. I never taken a drug test. Actually, that's a lie. Unlocking memories. I applied to Chevy. That was a fun time. They did the whole thing. They brought me in. I was going to be a sales rep. And I was going to sell cars for Chevy, right? I was 19. The job offered a 40 grand base pay. So 40 grand a year no matter what. And then commission on top of that. And so he brings me into this back cubicle. And he goes, sell me this pen. And he puts it down on the desk. Now, I don't know if you guys have like seen Wolf of Wall Street. I hadn't seen it at the time. So this was new to me. This was a new tactic to me. So he goes, sell me this pen. And I go, can I have a second? Which is the worst thing that you could give to, at the time, a very, I was going to say established actor. But I was practicing. I was practicing at the time. So I'm like, okay, give me a minute. Can I have a second? And he goes, sure, take your time. So I look this pen up and down and I go, okay. What we have here is a China manufactured. And I just start going, ballpoint, spring loaded. And this guy goes, you got the job. Congratulations, kid. And he called me kid. And I'm like, that's when it hit. I'm 19. I'm about to make 40 grand a year. He goes, now we're just going to send you for your drug test. Okay, cool. Send me for a drug test. I go to the local gas station and I get some Easy Clean or whatever that shit is. And it's a drink that detoxifies your system of any narcotics. Boom! I'm fucking in there, right? You're supposed to drink this drink, refill it with water, and drink that, and then you're supposed to shit your brains out. You do it twice. You urinate twice, and then on that third urination, that's supposed to be the cleanest urine that you have. And it's such a hassle and a headache. Just don't participate in recreationals. That way you can just get a fucking job. I see it all. I see it. I said it. I see a lot of people that are like, just take a cap full of bleach, and I'm like, no, just don't do the drugs. Anyways, so I get this Easy Clean, and I go to the drug test, and I pee. They take my pee test, and then they're like, okay, now it's time for the second test. And I say, second test? And they're like, yeah, we got to get your hair, Bubba. And I'm like, what? My hair? What you need my hair for? I got my pee. What? And they took my hair. And so I didn't get the job. The doctor called me and he goes, hey, Mr. Vasquez, we found the marijuana in your system, in your hair. And I was like, okay, well, what about my urine test? And he goes, I don't have that one in front of me. I just know you failed the hair test. Thank you. And I'm like, oh. At the time, I was pissed. At the time, I was like 19-year-old Robert. I'm like, what did they do with my urine? Where is my urine? What government official is like, we need to clone this? We got a wily one. We can do something with this. And so, that being said, that was the only drug test that I had taken and failed. Because I don't even know if I passed the urine part. So I can't even tell you that Easy Clean stuff from the gas station works. Gas station, I bit my tongue. I can't even tell you that it works. because I don't know. The best thing that works for passing a drug test is abstinence. Abstinence is the answer to all. Hey, you don't want to have a baby? Abstinence. You want to pass a drug test? Abstinence. Fucking.
This is what dreams are made of.
Anyways. Abstinence. And so I take this drug test for Amazon and I pass it. Flying colors. Which, whatever. It wasn't that hard to fucking take myself away from my habitat for 3 days and not participate in recreationals. So I get this drug test. So I get this job by passing the drug test. I just renewed my lease on the 25th, the day I got fired. I hated living there. Probably mid-November. Like mid-November, I was already done. And I was like, I have 11 more months of this? Because when I passed the drug test at Amazon, I got hired on, of course. But I didn't get to pick my shift. I got hired on third shift. And this is really important because I'm the only one in this apartment that's working third shift. Hey, hold the 3 up longer. Both my roommates, Taylor and Spencer, are working first and or second. I'm making at the time $11.75, and that was with the third shift night shift premium. And this is all like pencil, like story pencil stuff. I don't even know what I meant by pencil stuff. But what I'm trying to get at is, I didn't like that job. I hated that job. Didn't want to work there. It paid all right, but with Spence being a busser and with Taylor working at like this family footwear place, I was the breadwinner. I became the Terry, no shit shirt. And I didn't like that. I didn't like being the leader. Taylor was older than me. Spencer was younger than me. I was paying for my insurance, the internet, the lights, they got in my name. And these kids that I'm living with are just not saying anything when it comes bill time. They're like, well, I guess the internet's just on today. And the power just comes from... When you're a kid, you don't ask questions like, where does the power come from? How do I contribute to helping pay this? You don't do that shit as a kid. You do it as an adult. But they weren't asking questions. And I was just not confrontational. These guys are my friends. They were my roommates now, but they were my friends first. Number one mistake. So I'm just sitting there, stuck at Amazon, sucking it up, meeting people along the way. And that's why this is the Unlocking Memories. So and I don't say this a lot, but I love my friends. I say it to them, but I don't say it publicly because, I love my friend Mike. Shout out to Mike. And Amazon is where I met one of my best friends, honestly. Now, I have a lot of relationships that start out on just a rocky basis or rocky terms. And I don't mean rocky as in the last episode where he's like, hey, pay $5 to take a picture, hey. And I'm like, fuck you, I don't got $5. So I get to Amazon, third shift, and there's this guy. He's got to be maybe 4'11", and he's got these Crazy 8s on or these badass Nikes, and he's going, woo! And just every chance he gets, it's like his catchphrase or some shit. And he runs that place at the time. Very good worker. Always has been a good worker, depending on who you ask. But I would go to the bathroom because I'm a slacker. I would go to the bathroom, and then maybe a heartbeat after me, he would come in the bathroom. And I'm like, and he was in a position to where he like talked to management and stuff. So I thought that they were sending him to Like, I thought that they were sending him in the bathroom after me to see if I was stealing stuff, which you ain't catching me anyways. But no, I got I got bathroom, woo, and Air Force delay. So one thing I haven't really brought up like that, because it has to do with Brooke and everything. When we went to Jersey, I saw how well her family was doing. Her brother and her sister-in-law. They were both in the Air Force at the time, living on base, and that's where we stayed while we were in Jersey. Very awesome. Very good life if you're just disciplined enough to live it. Fine. Robert, who just stopped participating in recreationals, trying to better his life, trying to get out of the situation that he's in, is just looking at all options. And I'm on the phone, I'm like, you know, it would be really, really cool if I went into the Air Force. Ah, Bubba, no. What? And so, me and Mike, we eventually become friends. I started working there November. We didn't really become friends till like January, February. Just because, like I said, I couldn't stand the guy, and it was for no good reason. Don't judge a book by its cover, even if that book is like one of those mini little compact books. All right, that's enough short jokes. So Mike asked me one day, he goes, hey, do you drive? And I'm like, yeah, I drive. He goes, can I get a ride home? I'll smoke with you. Recreationals. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm going to the Air Force. You know, I got this whole other life that I'm trying to live. I'm leaving that behind. He goes, well, one question. He goes, when you going? And at the time, like I said, it was like January. I was like, probably about like June. He goes, oh, you got plenty of time. Thank God for that guy, dude. Thank God for that guy, because I gave him a ride home, and we started a friendship that we still have to this day. It's grown immensely, but like, just knowing that guy, he saved my life, dude. I'm going to get into the more unlocking memories because it gets darker. January, February, that's where it starts to get like really dark. And then eventually July comes, and anyways, it's a whole big story. But I'll never forget turning from like, I can't stand this dude, to this guy's really all right. He's really funny, and he's got good receptive skills when it comes to receiving my energy. I don't even know what I meant with that statement, but it's in there now. Fucking.
This is what dreams are made of.
That's enough of that. This whole unlocking memories, I guess, is just a fucking, I don't know. I even did it in the wrong cheek. I'm not doing it again. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to all my friends, but especially Mike. Shout out to him and his family. I hope they're doing well. And that is unlocking memories. I will continue this unlocking memories. It's very confusing because I can't do it all at once, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. There will eventually be some kind of documentary about it where I get to tell the whole thing, and then you'll see how the story like coincides with one another. That's the word, right? Coincides. Boom. And I'm so smart, dude. All right, that's enough of that. Can't get flagged again, dude. Shout out to all you Questers out there. Don't forget to fucking like and subscribe. Put us in the algorithm. Let's just see what happens. Let's see how many weird people just come in. Leave comments. Like I said, like and subscribe. Shout out to the Terms of Engagement podcast. Get your boy Tater, Young Calabaster, Rezi, and Mercenary. I think I got them all right. I'm going to put their link in the bio. Check out their little podcast. It's a little 4x4. They talk about games, sex, I think. They talk about fatherhood, everything, dude. So check them out on YouTube. I think they're on Spotify as well. Terms of Engagement, TYRMS or TYRM. Boom. And that's, dude, I think that's the Quest. Episode 25. We're out here 7/2/21. I hope you guys have a good 4th of July. Hope you love that freedom that you're tasting. I hope you get some good tastes at your local barbecue. Not cookout. Hope you get some good food at your local barbecue. Like and subscribe. Leave comments. Come back next week because we're going to have another quest for you. Thank you so much. And I've had a lot of fun. I'll see you later.